It was a rough weekend for the Red Raiders as Oklahoma won in Lubbock for the first time since 2003. Lady Raider tennis rocked the competition at the 2012 U.S. Air Force Academy Women's Tennis Invitational. And the LCU and Texas Tech softball programs have a family connection. We'll tell you all about that. It's the Double T Insider. Let's go. Long shot there, and that one goes in. Texas Tech takes the 2-0 lead. The Double T Insider is brought to you by the Texas Tech University College of Media and Communication and is entirely produced by students of the college. Welcome into the show, everyone. I'm Joshua Cook, joined by Erica Taylor as we bring you yet another episode of the Double T Insider.
But first, we take a look back at this weekend for Texas Tech athletics.
The number 24 Red Raiders taking on the number 17 Sooners at Jones AT&T Stadium in a primetime afternoon game on Saturday. The old ball coaches talking to each other before this one gets started. Fans took note to Tommy Tuberville's request of blacking out the stadium, and a record-breaking crowd of 60,800 did so. But all the fans didn't stick around the entire game as Texas Tech hung with Oklahoma until halftime, but in the second half it was all Boomer Sooner. Sooners roll to the 41-20 victory, improving to 3-1 overall and 1-1 in Big 12 play, while Tech falls to 4-1 and 1-1 in Big 12 play as well.
Texas Tech soccer faced a top 25 opponent at the John B. Walker Soccer Complex for the first time this season. Pick it up late in the second half, Red Raiders trailed 2-1, and with 33 seconds left in the match, Riannon Romer heads in the ball to tie the match up. But in double overtime, Baylor would find the back of the net. Tech falls 3-2 in double overtime. Red Raiders fall 10-4 overall and 2-2 in Big 12 play.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we take a look at two brothers who love to coach even when it's against each other. And later, Kristy Curry has some new faces on the Lady Raider basketball team. Who is she most excited about seeing on the court this season? But first, let's hit the rewind button and take a look back on the week that was for Texas Tech athletics.
Back into the box. Becky's going to shoot. She'll score! Back of the net. We're all tied up at the John B. Walker Soccer Complex.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Earlier this week, it was competition between Coach Hayes and Coach Hayes. That's right, when the LCU and Texas Tech softball programs squared off at the Rocky Johnson Field, it was more than just two crosstown teams playing against each other, but two brothers coaching against one another. Joshua Cook has more on how the Hayes are keeping it all in the family in Lubbock, Texas.
You know, Dad got us started in softball a long time ago. We grew up in the spring at the baseball park, and then in the summers we played fast pitch and followed him around playing fast pitch. So we've been around the game for a long time, and Shannon's kind of the one that got us into coaching softball. And when he did it, I was asking him, what are you thinking? And he told me that I'd want to do it someday, and I thought he was crazy, but now that I'm doing it, I love it and really glad I made the change.
When the name Hayes is brought up in any conversation in Lubbock, three people come to mind: Larry, Darren, and Shannon. All three have been involved at Texas Tech and LCU as coaches in baseball, basketball, and now softball. But it all started with Larry in 1971 at Lubbock Christian University and ended right back at LCU in 2009. And along the way, his sons got bit by the coaching bug.
Well, there's a big disadvantage being raised by a coach. You know, you're around the ballpark all the time, and there's good things and bad things that happen around the ballpark, and for kids, it's a lot of fun. And I think they grew up, you know, seeing how much fun it was to coach and all those different things. And so I think that led to that. I think when they started college, they were going to, I think one of them was going to be a lawyer, and I don't know what the other's going to be, but I guess they turned out bad and ended up being coaches. But no, it was coaching's fun if you can stand it, you know, and I think both of them learned how to do that.
Out of all three, though, Shannon was the first to take a leap into coaching softball and started the Lubbock Christian softball program. It didn't take long for the LCU program to find success. First year, national champions. And ever since then, Shannon has never looked back.
We just like coaching. You know, I grew up playing, Dad was a basketball coach at Lubbock Christian and baseball coach, and that's when I loved being around basketball, but obviously baseball and playing baseball here at Tech. And then in the off season, the summer, Dad played fast pitch softball, and we watched until we got old enough where we could play. And so all three of those sports were something for me personally that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the competition. And
nowadays, Shannon coaches the Red Raiders while Darren coaches the Lady Chaps. With both teams being in town, why not play each other? Despite it being a friendly game, there is still the competitive side, as they are brothers.
You know, they're so competitive. You know, I hate to see them playing each other, because I remember growing up, you know, all it takes is one word and they'd be wrestling or scuffling or doing something. And so that's still there, but they're both, they see the advantage of doing this, and they both have good enough teams that they can test the other one enough and get to see things, and they work together on that. And so I enjoy this, you know, a lot. But watching a team play if your son's coaching is not a whole lot of fun. You know, it's kind of nerve-wracking. I'd rather do it myself.
Even in his retirement, Larry is still around both programs, and his sons enjoy having Dad around the ballpark.
yeah, Dad's around a lot. I mean, he comes and watches our scrimmages, and he'll come and watch us practice from time to time. And I know he throws bat in practice a lot for Darren. He would throw bat in practice for me if it was NCAA legal. He really enjoys it. And you know, him coaching 1 year in transition after I left Lubbock Christian for Lubbock Christian, having the ladies there, it got him hooked on women's softball as well.
Every week the three meet for Sunday lunches, and with Larry, Shannon, and Darren all being former and current coaches, you can guess what the conversation is about. Yes, softball.
Yeah, I've always been blessed, and that's a big blessing there. And you know, everybody else gets tired of hearing the three of us talk. You know, Sunday lunch. You know, they have to talk about important things, and we're down talking about softball and recruiting.
It drives our wives crazy. They get tired of hearing about it, and they kind of tune us out and talk about whatever else. But you know, we're talking about our team, who's playing well, where we need to get better, recruiting, all that kind of stuff. So it's probably pretty boring to everybody else, but it keeps us entertained.
Reporting for the Double T Insider, I'm Joshua Cook.
When we come back, Texas Tech women's head basketball coach takes a seat with us in the Coach's Corner.
And don't go anywhere, the top plays of the week are coming up later.
Welcome back to the Double T Insider. Lady Raider basketball is back at practice this week, and head coach Kristy Curry is excited about the new season and new faces on the Lady Raider squad.
Welcome you into the Coach's Corner on the Double T Insider. I'm Joshua Cook, joined by Texas Tech women's basketball coach Kristy Curry. Coach, talk about, you've been in practice for about a week now. How's it been going so far getting this new season kicked off?
You know, it's been going well. I love everyone's energy every day. A lot to learn in a short period of time, and so they've done a great job of going from drill to drill, putting in both ends of the floor as far as our offenses and our defenses. So a lot to learn, but they're doing great.
Talk about the returners first, and we'll get to the newcomers, but you return a very strong senior class this year. We've seen them grow throughout the years. What's it like having that very solid senior class come back this season?
Well, they do such a great job with their actions and also being vocal, and they're a great group of people, do a great job leading. And, you know, we love the fact anytime you bring back a senior-laden backcourt, that can only work to your advantage.
Talk about the newcomers. There's a lot of just talk about this newcoming class that you brought in, including Jackie Patterson, who has gotten some preseason awards already from the Big 12 Conference. Talking about them and what they're really going to add to this team that was maybe missing from last season.
Well, I think Jackie adds a lot of athleticism at 6'2". She's a lefty. You know, that's hard to defend. I really can jump out of the gym. Has a lot to learn. But I think she's definitely a talent. You know, in the recruiting process, it was a great get for us. And losing Jordan Barncastle and Kiera Mallard, you know, we're excited because we think she can really help us losing those two.
Talk about this team coming back as a whole piece. Like you mentioned, one season y'all make it, one season y'all don't. Is this team going to be one of those teams that may has a bit of a chip on their shoulder from last season?
I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, those kids really understand, you know, and it's not what we want as a coaching staff. I mean, as a competitor, I mean, that hurts down deep inside, and it has now all summer. And they realize that us being a more consistent team, a lot of little things make a big difference every day in life, and it's little things on the floor, from a critical stop to a box out to a missed free throw, and things that are so fixable. And us being a more consistent team is going to be important to that success come January, February.
Who are you most excited about this season?
Well, I think right now, you know, that's tough after a week of practice, because I'm so excited about all of them, and especially their attitude and their energy and their unselfishness that they're bringing to the floor every day. You know, we've got several newcomers that I feel like, and Kellen and Minta and Jackie can really make a difference. I mean, at this level, we move so quickly, and there's a lot to learn. And those three, I think, have really learned very quickly and been great learners. You look at our senior class and what they bring and the versatility. Our front line, Kelsey Baker may be the most improved player in the Big 12 this year. Chantal Nobles, I mean, obviously the way she performed her sophomore year has a chance to really have a great junior year. So many positives. You can tell I just can't quit talking about all of them.
Talking about the Big 12 Conference today, the preseason poll was released and Texas Tech came in 8th. Does that give y'all a little motivation, maybe, that y'all picked that low in the conference to come out this season, really make some noise?
Well, I think the biggest thing is I don't really care what other people think. You know, that's a preseason award that absolutely means nothing from a group of coaches. You know, the thing about it is we didn't warrant anything any higher the way we finished a year ago. And I think the most important thing is that we finished the year the right way this year, and those things fall into place, but it really doesn't matter in the preseason. It doesn't mean anything. You have to earn everything, and our goal is to finish the season in the right way this year.
Talking about kind of the way the preseason poll came out and stuff like that around the Big 12, I know it's a little early, may haven't started looking at the other teams. How does the Big 12 shape up this year, especially with Baylor coming back, the defending national champions, and they bring back Brittany Griner as well?
Well, I think they bring back all 5 starters and 9% of their scoring. You know, and you look across our league, and I think there are 6 or 7 teams ranked in the preseason top 25 in the different polls in the preseason. So the talent and the depth, again, it's the #1 league in the country as far as the preseason goes, and the rankings and how we finish the season RPI-wise. And, you know, West Virginia coming into the league as a tournament team. So losing Texas A&M and gaining West Virginia, you know, again, if you want to play and you want to coach in this league, it's the best league in the country, and it challenges you to be at the top of your game every day.
Well, Texas Tech starts its season on November 4th with an exhibition game here in the United Spirit Arena. Be sure to come out and check out the 2012-2013 Lady Raiders. Coach, thank you so much for sitting down with us in the Coach's Corner.
Thank you.
It might be early in the 2012-2013 season, but the defending Big 12 champion Lady Raider tennis team is already making splashes this fall. Nicki Lopes reports.
The Lady Raider tennis team earned its first ever Big 12 championship trophy last season. A championship banner is proudly on display at the McLeod Tennis Center, but the celebration has passed, and the Texas Tech women's tennis team is hard at work already making impressions this fall. Tech proved it is a team to look out for, with the women coming away with 19 wins of 20 matches during the 2012 U.S. Air Force Academy Women's Tennis Invitational last week. Assistant coach Todd Chapman speaks with the Double T Insider about the tournament and team.
The girls did a great job. It was a very good tournament. There's 3 or 4 teams there that made the NCAA tournament last year, so it was good competition. I just think this team has embraced what we did last year and decided that they want to, you know, build on that this year, and we come back to school very ready, and I think that's shown in the first few tournaments we've gone to.
Even with last season's success, senior Sandra Dinka comments about the team's desire to stay hungry and compete at an even higher level during the upcoming season.
It definitely shows that we're not satisfied with how we did last year. We're hungry and we want to do better. We're not okay with just making the tournament. We want to succeed this year. And I think, like I said, it's really important for us as a team to compete with each other, to keep pushing each other so that we stay hungry and be ready to compete when the big season comes along.
Elizabeth Eulathorn talks about what the Lady Raiders can take away from last weekend's achievements moving towards regionals.
I think the main thing is confidence. We have regionals in 2 weeks' time, and that's like the main tournament of the 4. So we want to really be going in there with a lot of match confidence, and I think we all gain that. And so hopefully we can stamp our authority down again at regionals.
Todd Chapman speaks about how important fall preparation is to finding success in the spring conference season.
That's what we've really done the last 2 years. Each fall has gotten better, and it's really helped us confidence-wise and just momentum-wise going into the spring. and I think for the girls kind of set the tone of what's expected. And so obviously it's a great time to work on things we need to work on, but I think it's also a time for the girls to work, to practice some of the things we put in place and build some confidence and some momentum.
For the Double T Insider, I'm Nicki Lopes.
Coming up next, we talk to some Red Raiders and Lady Raiders walking for a good cause. And what lies ahead this week for Tech Athletics? Don't go anywhere. The Double T Insider is back after this. It wasn't just football on Saturday that had people walking somewhere, as the 18th annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure took place in Lubbock, and some Texas Tech athletes and coaches took time out of their schedule to walk for a good cause. Erica Taylor has the story.
The Lubbock community gathered at the Civic Center last Saturday for the 2012 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. It was cold outside, but the Texas Tech Red Raiders had the month of May showing off their pink pride and appreciation for breast cancer survivors.
It means everything to be out here today. Serving a cause greater than itself is a priority of our program. We're teaching our guys that giving back is very, very, very significant.
The low temperatures were not a problem at all, as over 6,000 people participated in the race. And among the crowd was breast cancer survivor Tommy Combs, who instantly felt the love and support from the Lubbock community.
Just Texas Tech sports has been a part of our family for years, and all of these people out here are equally as important to come and support breast cancer. And I am thrilled to be a part of this community and be able to look out here and go, these people care and they love.
The Race for the Cure and those fighting with breast cancer also hits home for Texas Tech women's basketball head coach Kristy Curry and her Lady Raiders.
We're walking this morning for Miss Tommy and Kelsey Baker's mom and Jordan Murphy's mom, and so many that have been a part of our program have been affected by this disease, and we're just proud to be out this morning. You think about Play for K that we'll be participating in our conference season and representing Coach Yao, and we're just proud to be out this morning. It's a great cause.
For Double T Insider, I'm Erica Taylor.
With the show winding down, we give you a preview of what's coming up for the Red Raiders this week.
Red Raider football is back on the gridiron on Saturday as Geno Smith leads the number 5 West Virginia Mountaineers into Lubbock. Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. and the game can be seen regionally on ABC and mirrored nationally on ESPN. Then on Sunday, the Red Raider soccer team returns home for one of its final 2 home matches of the season as the Francis Marion Patriots roll into Lubbock. First kick is set for 1 p.m. and live play-by-play of the match can be heard on KTXT, the Raider 88.1 FM, and also be seen on Texas Tech TV, streamed online at texastech.com/allaccess. Then on Wednesday, Texas Tech returns home to face the Sooners in a 6 p.m. match, which will be televised nationally on Fox College Sports and also can be heard on KTXT, the Raider 88.1 FM.
It's now time for the top 3 plays of the week. At number 3, Raider gunslinger Seth Dagy's pass is intercepted by Gemma McFarland. The big fella is going to try and take it to the house. He returns it down to the 4-yard line before Dagy cleans up his own mess. Watch out, the ball is knocked loose and Tyson Williams jumps on it. Texas Tech recovers the ball, but would fall in the end 41-20 to Oklahoma. At number 2, Texas Tech soccer taking on number 25 Baylor. Red Raiders looking to tie the game up after trailing for 65 minutes. Janine Becky does so. The phenomenal freshman finds the back of the net after an assist from Haley Hagsma. And at number 1,
from out, now Strahan trying to get to the ball, 39 seconds to go. Now Strahan with a chance, Strahan crosser in front, header, goal, Texas Tech! 33 seconds to go! You've got to be kidding me!
Despite the amazing shot, Tech would fall in double overtime, 3-2.
Well, that does it for our show, everyone. Thanks for watching.
And be sure to tune in next week as well. Also go on Facebook and search for Double T Insider and never miss another episode. Again, that does it for us. Have a great week, everyone.